Hi, I'm Gavin Hodgson, fly fishing instructor and manager of Granger's Fishing Tackle here in South Kensington, London. We're going to talk you through some of the techniques and tips and help you get started in fishing. How to make a fishing lure. Many things to consider, I guess. First of all, why would you? There are so many available at various prices, and the manufacturers have pretty much got this down to a T. They're excellent quality, the hooks are usually pretty good, but I can understand, I guess, if you like making things, if you have lots of time on your hands and you're good at building things, then fair enough. What I'll do is I'll talk about the key features of a lure. Here's a Giant. Now this is ridiculous, we're not going to use it for anything, but it's a model that we keep in the shop here. Now I guess features to consider. This would be a surface popping lure, but the constructional features, obviously the eye is important. That's what we're going to attach our main line to. On a good lure, we'd have that wire, which would be very strong, going right through the body of the lure, twisting down into this eye here, coming back right to the end and forming a loop at the end. Now all of those loops will be the same strand, and that's the important part, so that right through the body of the main lure you've got a single strand of wire. Very heavy duty and not going to bend, not going to break the casing of the lure, but that there you can then attach your hooks to and your main line to and feel fairly confident that it's going to do the job. Now obviously what hooks we choose, that's down to your personal preference. Most of these manufactured lures come with a selection of trebles, 3 trebles, 2 trebles. Personally, I like fishing a double. If it was me, I would have a double and a single, and I think you get a better hookup ratio, but that's debatable. Many other things to think about. Colors, obviously, that's going to depend on where you're fishing, what species you're fishing for, what depth of water, what color of water, many things to consider. But obviously, once we've got the color established, then you'll notice that with all these lures, there's a different shape to the body, a different shape to the bib, which is the front of the lure, and that would basically determine how the lure is going to sink and how it's going to fish. First of all, buoyant lures. Buoyant lures with a bib. If we consider that being a floating lure, so that when we're not retrieving, that's going to sit right on the surface. But the second we start retrieving, it's going to dive. Now the size of the bib here will determine what depth it's going to dive to. So large bib, we have a large bib lure somewhere here. The large bib on this lure will dive much deeper than the bib on this lure. This lure is going to dive to approximately 6 to 8 feet. This lure is going to dive a lot deeper. In fact, the manufacturer quotes up to 15 feet. So obviously that needs to be considered when making a lure for whatever fishing place you're going to. Things like the wiggle bodies. The wiggle bodies are obviously designed to give us a nice free-flowing wiggle action, like a lot of small fish would do swimming along the water. This one here is a rainbow trout lure, very good lure for trout, for larger trout, and for pike and perch. Very effective lure. For saltwater use, obviously, flashy profile is good. So a real holographic sort of look about the body. On a lot of these patterns, you'll see a real shiny surface to them. And that's going to work very well in the sunlight and when fishing at sea. Another good feature to a lot of the more modern lures, this one has a rattle. So basically, when we retrieve that, it's going to have a little ball bearing bouncing around inside, which gives us a noise. Fish feel vibration. I don't know whether they hear noise, but they definitely feel vibration. So a lot of things to consider there. The hooks, if you're going to put hooks on, you may as well use good split rings. And using the good split rings, the owners with the split ring pliers will save you from a lot of disappointment if you hook a big fish.